So first of all, I wanted to thank everyone else also for joining. I see the numbers are increasing as we speak. Dylan, are you on the call?
I am, yes, thank you.
Oh, great. Hey, Dylan. And are the AWDC team on the phone as well?
I am on the phone.
Hello.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to almost see you.
No, I wanted to thank you guys as well for participating in our webinar series. I know you already had a number of webinars up, but we thought it would be a good idea to give the people in Antwerp who haven't seen one of your presentations yet to get the opportunity to do so, because we believe that like you were talking about, this is a time when things are changing, people are adapting. I think the digital revolution is going to be accelerated by this pandemic. So let's take the good things out of the bad and see how people can sort of move on to the next level in terms of being online and trading online. Like you said, who thought we couldn't sell diamonds from home? So happy to give you this opportunity and happy that you're here. And I'm going to pass the floor to the experts.
Thank you, and thank you for this great opportunity on behalf of UNI, Dylan, and myself. I think it's such a wonderful thing that AWDC is doing for its members, and we appreciate and respect having this time and opportunity to speak to people within Antwerp and even outside of Antwerp who have decided to log into this meeting. So I wanted to start the meeting, if that's okay, and just talk very quickly about who UNI is and what UNI is doing as an organization. And then from there to kind of answer any questions or concerns that any of you may have about UNI, its position, what are we trying to do, and see if there are any things that we need to do even more. If you are not asking a question, I would appreciate it if you actually mute your part of the presentation. It would be very much appreciated, so that we don't get disturbances as the conversation happens. Now, to start out very holistically about UNI and who UNI is and what UNI has done, I wanted to kind of give you an understanding of how old UNI is. UNI is roughly about 1.5 years old. I joined UNI nearly about 10 months ago. And when I joined UNI, we decided to look at what the platform and the marketplace has and be able to really encompass challenges.
Okay.
Challenges and issues.
No.
Hello, whoever that is speaking. Let me see if I could actually.
Most companies are closed.
Most companies are closed.
That's all.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Okay, so UNI as an organization was created to answer a lot of challenges and issues that the industry has. We call ourselves an ecosystem, really because we don't believe ourselves as being just a platform. We consider ourselves to being an environment where we're helping support the industry.
Kan die klanken zetten, weet je wel?
And at the same time, while we are helping kind of create this sort of environment, we're also doing what we can to make sure that there is enough of the challenges that the industry has that we try and come up with solutions and answers for. So the vision of the organization has been to create a transparent, credible, and efficient marketplace for the diamond industry. And how we decided to approach this as an organization about 10 months ago was to look at data as being the center of everything that we do. So we went to the top 25 manufacturers and spoke to all of those manufacturers to try and ensure that we are doing what we can. Sorry, I just need to get that off of my screen. We went to the top 25 manufacturers and tried to see how we can actually ask them for their data and information to be provided to us. And this information needed to be super critical around it being in sales information. So what are you selling? And one, in your stock, what prices are you willing to sell your diamonds at? Not asking prices, not anything like, you know, around other platforms. But if you were to sell this diamond today, what is the actual price that you're wanting to pay, wanting to have money for that stone? And in addition to that, actual sales data and information. So from the top 25, we originally got the top 23 to provide us with data information around this, which then allowed us to really be able to get a very rich and informative environment where we're gaining a lot of data and information from the industry, and in turn, then we can utilize it in various segments of the business. We believe that the information that we have should be shared with the market, and so what we did was, once a manufacturer actually provides us with data and information, we create one truth sheet, and the truth sheet will have the standard information that each organization needs to have, like, for example, the certificate number, the carat size, the 4 C's, if you will, of the stone, but also some more in-depth information about the stone, the video, the photograph, etc. So we can utilize that information in our AI platform to be able to kind of churn and create a consistent information for everyone. So all manufacturers, all people who are providing us this information will have a consistent database and informatics around what we're doing. So when we started receiving the data, we've looked at being able to aggregate and put together all the data to be able to create this really unique database, which we'll use for providing average market prices to the industry. For those who are providing us data, we'll give them a much more in-depth information, which I'll cover later on in this presentation of what that is. And for those who actually provide us with diamonds, what we wanted to do was create a unique identifier for each stone, which I'll talk about. That's the Uni passport. And so the data became very central in the story of Uni. And we use that data and information to be able to help sell diamonds through our marketplace, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. So our marketplace is broken down into various different segments. And we also have a sales organization. And that, I think, is an important differentiator of ours versus others. We do not expect to just put up a platform and say, here's a platform, use it. Oh, thanks. I hope I get some sales through this platform. But what we wanted to do was actually bring in a group of professionals who would then allow us to be able to successfully help sell diamonds within our platform. So that was a very key and important part of our deliverables, was being able to really not only just have a platform, but help be an extension of our customers and our partners. I think that's a very critical part of what Uni as an organization stands for. Uni Capital, we developed in partnership with Malcolm Mead, who is a shareholder within Uni Capital, but a partner within Uni Logistics as an organization. Capital was built specifically to answer the challenges of financing within the industry and what the industry is doing. Now, we're currently doing a pilot of Uni Capital with some customers in providing financing and working with them and providing them with support in this area. But the aim and the growth in Uni Capital is to be able to be one of the major groups within the industry that's helping support the industry in financing and providing money back into the industry. Now, what was interesting here when we went out to raise capital or money for bringing into the industry, a lot of the organizations that we worked with, a lot of companies that we approached, at first said, don't want to have anything to do with this. You know, the diamond industry is a very challenging industry for us to understand and appreciate. And because of that, we're not sure if we want to work with the industry. So what were the challenges that they had? And this was one of the things that we needed to focus on in figuring out how do we move forward in capital. The challenges that they had was that they didn't understand diamond pricing. That was one. And the second, they didn't want anyone to hard grade or soft grade depending on what company it is that they're working with and what company it is that we're working with and how we're going to be working with them. So we needed to ensure that these people who are providing us with their financing and money really understand that what we've developed and what we've created is transparent, and it's something that can be audited and validated at any given time. So the data became such an important part of this, right? Because if you're getting industry information, market prices are what market prices are. The second part of it is being able to validate the diamonds themselves. So when someone gives us a certain number of stones, let's say valued at $1 million, we would take those stones, we would look at the 24 unique parameters that we are validating. But that validation we've given to a third-party company to actually do. We're partnered up with De Beers Laboratory to actually do this validation for us on the 24 unique characteristics. And so you combine the pricing with the 24 inherent characteristics of a diamond, and what you're able to do is to get an absolute figure for what the price of these diamonds were. And that became such an important part of being able to insure the diamonds when we're moving it downstream, as well as providing financing when we're taking these diamonds into our platform. So again, I'll touch on that a bit later when we're going through the presentation. Now, all of this needs to be summed up with logistics, because it's so great to be able to use data, have information on your marketplace, have a sales team that's selling diamonds, provide financing. But the one area that there's a lot of challenges and have been challenges in our industry is, where are the diamonds, right? If God forbid, let's say something were to happen to me or to whoever it may be, there needs to be an understanding of physically who's holding the diamonds, where the diamonds are, how the diamonds are transported. And it needs to be trusted. And that's why we partnered up with the most trusted name in our industry in logistics, Malcolm Mead, to be able to take diamonds and keep them, and also help us with all of the logistics aspect. Today, you can go to any of the Malcolm Mead offices and say, this is for Uni Diamonds, care of Malcolm Mead. Those goods at that point will be insured. They'll be stored in Malcolm Mead. It will be under your name and under our name, so we can actually help transport the diamonds to wherever they need to go. And it will have a resonating understanding and trust with our customers who are providing us with these diamonds to ensure that they know that they're being taken care of and they are being managed effectively. So this is how we're creating this transparency and efficient marketplace to really bring the vendors and the buyers closer together and really be able to help support them holistically to be able to sell their diamonds downstream. Now, if we were to look at Uni as an organization and look at the customer segmentation of UNI, you'll very clearly see that UNI has various different segments. UNI Free is the new baby on the segmentation. This is something that we committed to the industry, and we actually soft launched it last week. This is a free platform. And what do I mean by free? This is a part of UNI that basically we've said, we'll develop it for the industry. They're more than welcome to upload all of their diamonds onto here. Buyers who log in can then communicate directly with those customers who've uploaded their information in here, and it's hands off from us. So unless a buyer wants us to get involved, it's hands off from us, which allows the buyer and seller to negotiate and work together, etc., without really having an influence by us. UNI Axon is the central nervous system of our business. And what do I mean by that? That's where all of the data and information comes in to our organization. This is where the data and information then is amalgamated. So the truth sheet of all organizations that come in that collaborate with us is created here. This is where everything gets kind of combined and amalgamated and averaged. And then we send that information out back to our partners who are providing us data. And for the rest of the market, we provide average market pricing information. So at any time, you'd be able to pull up the UNI app and put into our calculator, what's a 2-carat GSI 1 XXX non worth today? And this is such an important part. Each diamond, we believe, has an inherent and true value to them, right? Today, it might be $12,500 a carat. Tomorrow, $12,510. The next day, $12,480. But irrelevant of what that price is, there is an inherent and absolute true value to diamonds. So I know that we as an industry have a respect and appreciation for discounts. And I respect that. But I think when you talk to the retailers, when you speak with the luxury retailers, when you speak to companies, they're looking at diamonds as, this is the value of the diamond, this is the value of my gold. If I put these together, I can sell it for this much. And they're looking at it in that way. So we wanted to be able to ensure that we're communicating in the same way. If you're looking at insurance companies, if you're looking at financing organizations, they all look at a true value. And we as an industry should be looking at that true value as well. So that's why we communicate everything in that way. We're not putting out any lists of market prices. We don't want people to try and you know, we're not creating a scare factor or an area where people buy for when they don't need, for example. We want to make sure that people are utilizing our platform to buy what they need when they need it in order for their organization to be successful. So that's the whole thing of what Axon is. Now, UNI Standard is a part of our business where we have direct linkages to key customers who are providing us FTP or API connection, meaning a live connection into our platform. And with that live connection, then we utilize these diamonds and the information within the diamonds to be able to help sell those diamonds downstream to retailers, jewelry manufacturers, and wholesalers. Now, this area of goods is one that is very important to us because we have to have a certain look and feel and standardization for each of the diamonds. So they all need to have a certain type of videography, certain type of photography, and also the companies that come into UNI Standard have to have an ethical validated background through the RJC, through the BPPs of De Beers. So it provides us with the ability to really understand that these companies are assured, validated, and have the right type of positioning within the industry and within the diamond community to be able to sell those diamonds downstream to retailers and jewelry manufacturers and wholesalers. Uni Premium are goods that are held physically with us in Uni. Now that can happen because diamonds are being financed by us, or certain companies have a really great niche in, let's say, in America, but they don't sell in Europe and they don't sell in China, or vice versa. They're phenomenal at selling in China, but really don't have an arm in the United States or in Europe. Our job is to help support the entire global needs of our customers. So if you're really great at certain location and you may not be elsewhere, you can help. You can provide us with some of the diamonds that you have, and we help support you downstream into selling those goods to retailers and jewelry manufacturers and wholesalers. So the key is then utilizing our sales team to be able to be a much more effective sales organization, and perhaps considered to be an extension of your sales organization overall. Uni Masterpiece, this is the cream of the crop diamonds. In this area is not open to all who have a login and password within Uni. It's actually by invitation only. And why is that happening? So this is the area that you have the really expensive diamonds. So the 5 carat D flawlesses, the 20 carat, 50 carat, 30 carat larger stones, the vivid pinks and blues and greens and the red diamonds. So this is where you're actually seeing the cream of the crop and the rarest of all rare diamonds. And what we want to be able to do here is to ensure that people who know how to use these goods are the ones who actually have access to these goods globally. So it provides a kind of an area where they can go in and see what is available and be able to look at those goods and purchase goods from this area. Moving a little bit farther and explaining each of those 4 pillars. Some of this stuff I've already talked about, but I'll touch on them here. The Uni Passport, this is provided when we're actually physically holding the diamonds ourselves. So again, if you look at Uni Standard and Uni Premium, we're talking about the Uni Premium goods. The Uni Premium goods are physically held by Uni in one of the Malcolm Mead offices, and then we're able to actually move those diamonds and be able to sell them much more effectively to our customers through what we've created with our partners at Malcolm Mead, which is an AI around ensuring that diamonds are positioned where they can be the most effectively sold and more quickly sold. So these passports are unique identifiers, which are focused on the 24 characteristics of the diamonds. They have the videography, the photography, and details behind the stones. But in addition to that, we actually have now also linked it to a blockchain. And we're utilizing Tracer as our partner on the polish. So if the diamond does not have a current blockchain process, it will start from the point that the diamond enters Uni. So from then onwards, it will be traceable, trackable, and validated. Now, if diamonds do have a historical traceability aspect behind it, and they do carry a blockchain, our platform is blockchain agnostic, meaning we can utilize any blockchain that our partners are using in order to be able to provide that information and continue the flow of the information downstream as the diamond continues to move down. So origin information and everything else that's validated through any blockchain can be continued to move downward to the consumer through the process that we have. Now, I talked about Axon. And I can say that as of today, we have more than $1 billion, 1 billion with a B, more than $1 billion of data per day that we're looking at for the analytics of our pricing. And the pricing is focused on unique characteristics and inherent characteristics of diamonds. And it will become, as the data increases, it will become more and more unique around the information on those characteristics of the diamonds. The whole idea behind this is to be able to provide a transparent and open environment where people can understand what market prices are today and how these prices are moving at any given time. So for us, it's important to be able to provide that in-depth information, but also for our partners who are providing us data to be able to provide this data back to them at no additional cost. This is information of the industry. This is the information for the industry. And for us to literally do an AI platform that actually checks and validates this information to provide average data information, we do not believe we should be charging the industry for it, because it is the industry's information that is being provided to us. And the trust that they're giving to us, we'd like to provide back to the industry. So that's why we're not charging for any of that information that we're providing. Now, the marketplace is our app as well as our online platform. And this is 24/7, 365 days. And basically you can go into our app, look for specific diamonds, and either bid or buy those diamonds. But the most important part is you can also put in your demand list. So that's a very important part of what we're providing for our customers. And that demand list can be fulfilled by any of the goods that are within all the layers of UNI. So UNI Premium, UNI Standard, and UNI Axon, and UNI Free. So we can actually look at all of that and be able to see what's available in order to be able to help our customers with what they're looking for. And from there, it's also important to look at the sales team and how the sales team actually helps ensure that this data and information is getting to our customers who are looking for diamonds. So a customer comes in and wants to put in an order of 300 stones. We look at UNI Axon, UNI Premium, UNI Standard for those diamonds. And then we look at UNI Free to see what's available. Now, with that information, we go back to our partners and say, we have an order, this is what our customers are looking for, would you be interested in helping us fulfill this order and this demand? Now, if at that point you say yes, as a partner of ours, Malka Mead will pick up the goods, they will ship it, we will have our customers QC the goods. Once they've looked at the goods, then they can purchase what they want. If they don't want something, they'll send it back to us and we'll disseminate back to our partners for those goods that were not approved. But the key here is all that cost is with us, right? We're taking that cost. Now, how do we charge and how do we make money? And I think this is an important thing to talk about. We charge 3% for every diamond that is sold within our platform, within UNI Standard, UNI Premium, or UNI Masterpiece, right? UNI Free is UNI Free. There's nothing that we make on that area. Unless one of our customers basically says, I want to use UNI for this, then that's a separate way that we approach the manufacturer or the holder of the diamond, and we do the business on behalf of our customer. Now, everything that's within UNI Standard is about the diamond. meaning it doesn't link to a specific company or a specific organization. So all the negotiation, everything that happens, the purchasing aspect that happens, all happen within the system, and it's purely based on the diamonds that's being sold. And in that environment, once a stone is sold in Uni Standard, Uni Premium, then we charge 3% to that organization that actually is buying it. We will insure the stone, we will allow the stone to be QC, we will invoice the stone, and we get the money back from when we invoice the stone, our partners invoice us, and we will continue the process in that way. So when the retailer pays us, we actually pay the customer whom we took the diamonds from. So the system is supposed to be very standard and very transparent and open, and we will communicate all aspects of this with both sides of the vendor and the seller, to make sure that there isn't any miscommunication or anything that comes out that is a surprise. Now the partnership that we have with Malka Amit really has helped us be able to create a smart logistics aspect within our business. And what is smart logistics? It really is us being able to optimize the sales of diamonds, no matter where those diamonds are being held. So imagine we, through our AI, are seeing that certain types of goods are much more effective in being able to be sold in the area or region around New York, area or region around Houston, area or regions around LA, Singapore, Hong Kong, mainland China, Japan, Middle East, Israel, Antwerp, or wherever it may be. So what we're doing is making sure that the diamonds are placed in the smartest location where they're more effectively to be sold. And that takes obviously data and information, but also it takes the ability to have a strong partnership with a phenomenal organization that can help us to do this. And that's where our partnership with Malka Amit became such an important part, because of the footing that they have around the world. But also, if I look at what they do and how they do things, they're the most careful, cautious partner that we've ever had the pleasure of working with, because they're always looking at the important aspects of making sure the diamonds are not only taken care of, but insured properly and assured to make sure that that trust and transparency is coming in for those who are providing us with the diamonds. Excuse me. Uni Capital, again, it's a very simplified process. An organization wants to finance some diamonds. They will provide us with those diamonds and say, we'd like to finance these. We will evaluate those diamonds. We will look at the absolute value of those stones. And then the financing that we provide is for 50% upfront financing. And those diamonds that are financed for up to 12 months with a review of the monetary finance every 4 months. So it's reviewed 3 times a year. And the idea here is to be able to provide support into the industry for the finance that's required, or the money that's required within the industry, but also to allow us to be able to physically hold these diamonds, to utilize our logistics and capabilities that we've created for just-in-time services for downstream partnerships, to be able to position those diamonds where they can be more effectively sold. Now, when a diamond is sold, the financing on that diamond ends. At that point, the customer that we had this diamond from can actually give us another diamond to replace it, to keep the financing, or we will take our finance charges and 3% off and provide them with the remainder of the money between the 50% and the 100%. So that the simplistic aspect of it. So the whole idea here again is to really be able to help the industry get to a different level than where we've been thus far. So bringing in money and bringing in financing to in a way that will help support the industry and the market. But not only that, and this is such an important thing that I think we need to consider as industry members. We've had some challenges with banks and other financial institutions leaving our industry. Why? Because there hasn't been a true appreciation and trust of what the values of our diamonds are, where the diamonds are actually being held, how they're being managed, etc. So to be able to provide this sort of service really brings confidence back to the banks and financial institutions who walked away from our industry. And that is a very key and important part of what we're trying to accomplish. We want money to come back into our industry, but we want the rest of the financial institutions and industries to realize we are a very bankable industry. And we just have to make sure that we do things in a certain way in order to be able to receive financing. So that to me is a very critical part, is bringing that trust back into the industry. It's interesting when we were looking at what does UNI stand for as an organization. We use the words, in diamonds, we trust. Why do we say that? Because we're utilizing data from the market on what diamond prices are. We're evaluating diamonds' true inherent values and characteristics, and really agreeing that each diamond has an absolute value. We're selling the diamonds through our platform, as well as selling diamonds through utilizing our sales organization. We're financing diamonds based on absolute value of diamonds. And we are transporting and moving natural diamonds to various parts around the world where they can be effectively utilized. So when we say in diamonds we trust, every aspect of what we do has a linkage, a direct linkage to the absolute true and inherent value of diamonds. The loan process, very simple. There's a valuation, 50% loan is provided. Then when the diamond sells, there's a settlement, and the settlement is based on whether you want to give us additional diamonds to continue selling based on the lending that we've given you, or do you want that value to be settled. So the aim here is to be an effective sales partner of yours, not just to hold diamonds. So that's the key aim of what we're trying to accomplish. The free platform. This was something, again, that we came up with not that long ago. It was literally, we announced it 3 weeks ago that we're going to do this, and we delivered it last week. So right now, if you go to free.uni.diamonds, we're not a .com, we're a .diamonds organization. You'll be able to actually log in using your own existing UNI credentials. And if you don't have a UNI credential, you could just sign up for one there. You go into the vendor area and you upload your stock and inventory. So it's as simple as that to get started. And in that area, you can use asking price, you can use whatever you wish to use. When you're utilizing any of our other services, then we need to have the actual sales price for your diamonds. So this was our commitment. And again, why did we decide to create it and not charge for any of it? Because we already had the platform. We just had to slightly change a few things on that platform to provide this service for the industry. And quite frankly, the industry needed it. So we decided that this is something that we're going to provide for the industry to ensure that we continue to move forward. And this for me is such a critical thing. It's great to look back and look at all the things that was and how things may have been. But really, for us to move forward as an industry, we need to look at what the future needs to be. We need to look at how we're going to do business in the future. And as we see more and more, the industry is looking for transparency. Consumers are looking for transparency. And our job as an organization is to be able to provide that trust and transparency to our customers for them to continue to want to buy diamonds. So the whole aim behind UniFree was to show that we do believe in this transparency, we do believe in this openness, and we created this in order for customers to be able to utilize it for no additional cost from us. So what are the services that you get? Now, if you're a public, you get the storefront, your name, your company's information, contact information, email platform, and also you upload all your data and all your pricing. And when people are searching for a diamond, they can actually find your diamond and contact you directly to be able to buy from you. You get the option of utilizing the Uni 4Cs calculator, which basically says where market prices are, what the prices are, what the average maximum and minimum prices are for the industry. Uni Standard and Uni Premium will actually have an advanced version of that calculator. And the reason why is because for Uni Standard and Uni Premium, we're getting additional data from our partners that are allowing us to create this amalgamated data, which will then allow us to be able to share that data with our partners. So for us, it's a very important thing to be able to provide to our customers so they can see exactly what they are getting and what the market prices are, how the market is moving, what's trending, what's not, what's selling more effectively, what's selling less effectively. So they're making really important decisions for their business. We've partnered up with EasyCalc to be able to help them or help those who are actually looking for a diamond be able to buy directly from the EasyCalc app itself. We have various activities around how we're creating kind of a better experience downstream with in-store retail, with the blockchain, and the digital certificate that we're creating, the Uni Passport. But in addition to that, we're also doing things to try and figure out how to help move the industry. And one of the things is a trial that we're starting with Young Diamantaire Investment Fund. And that allows us to be able to provide money to those youngsters who are starting out in this business, who really want to really go out there, buy diamonds, trade, understand the business, and understand what it means to actually look at diamonds and be able to evaluate them and also sell them downstream. So we're partnering up with Penford on this, and we're very blessed to have that relationship to be able to provide support to young diamantaires who are wanting to get into this industry. So this is kind of what UNI's doing as a whole, as an organization. I'd love to take you perhaps through some of the analytics tools that we have. But before doing that, I wanted to know if there are any questions or anything that we can help, Dylan and I can help answer. As Dylan, our Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, is on this call, I think it's important for us to be able to help answer any of your questions and see if there are things that we can respond to now while we're all still here. Any questions from anyone?
One thing I would like to add, I guess, when we're talking to the Antwerp manufacturing family, is that a lot of the data we have will be able to help you, hopefully, for one, inform you the best decisions to make when you're manufacturing. Both Mahir and I come back both from site holder backgrounds and also obviously rough selling backgrounds. And I believe that every operation does have that relationship between sales and their manufacturing division. But with the amount of data we have, we'll be able to hopefully inform you that, you know, if there are too many, let's say, ovals in the market, you'll see a downturn possibly in pricing. That this will help you and inform you when you're coming up and doing your best value decisions when you're coming up and manufacturing that unique piece of rough. Hopefully that will allow you to make better decisions, to make to gain the maximum value you can out of that piece of rough. And also hopefully through the sales team that we can actually have a fast pull through and even potentially have demand in place that we can work with our partners to know that when a diamond comes through that suits certain clients that we have in markets, be it in Asia, Europe, or America, that hopefully this diamond can be planned, manufactured, and hopefully sold as quickly as possible. We have a few questions on the group chat there, Mahir.
Oh, great. Can you help me with
Certainly.
the questions?
There's a question about traceability, and if traders, we buy a diamond from another trader, then our customer will know the source. What are your thoughts for this? I think the blockchain is there, I believe, you know, whether it comes from an existing traceability system, such whether it's Canada Mark, whether it's Rio Tinto's Mine of Origin program, be it Forever Mark, whatever traceability systems out there, the Yellow Rosa systems. The goal is that we have this traceability of its potentially as more and more clients are seeking it. Be it, you know, when we're looking at Tiffany's declaration in the past year, the focus on a lot of the companies in Place Vendôme, because this is where the industry is going, we are attempting to set it up that we'll be able to service that element of traceability. When you're looking at a blockchain, it's not necessarily that every block is open to the end user. And our goal isn't to ensure that, you know, they know that it went from Rio to manufacturer to you to them. It's to guarantee that there is an existing chain that can be verified, that if a claim that you make is that this comes from Canadian rough or Botswanan rough or Russian rough, that it can be validated. And we can help you, hopefully, with your connections at your customers, provide I think a stronger sales, a sales platform for you to hopefully make a sale. So I think that hopefully will alleviate any concerns you have about the allowing people to see exactly where you source the diamond from.
Could I ask a question?
Certainly.
You're launching this at the same time as Get Diamonds. It's another new platform that's appeared. And the big difference, as I understand it, is that you'll be actually selling the diamonds and having a sales team. How do you estimate or arrive at the absolute value or the value of the diamond, firstly? And what sort of sales teams do you have globally that will allow you to move diamonds from China to America or to wherever?
So great questions. First of all, I think I'll give credit to Get Diamonds for what they've been able to accomplish in the past 3.5 weeks. I think it's been phenomenal. And for the group who actually pulled everyone together and have created what they have, I think, you know, my hat off to you and chapeau. I think the aim for more transparency and openness in the industry has been very loudly and clearly heard. So well done for Get having this support to be able to get people onto their platform. But I do want to differentiate between Get and Uni in that, you know, we don't consider ourselves a platform. We actually do consider ourselves, as you said, we consider ourselves an ecosystem that has the selling capability. So not only we sell on a platform, but we also have the sales team, like you rightly said, but we also have the data and information that we're providing back into the industry. In addition to that, we're also providing financing. In addition to that, we're also providing logistics, right? So it's not just a platform that we're providing. So we're not just a storefront. But I do want to say that we have key team members within US and North America, Middle East, China, China/Hong Kong, and Europe, who are each focused specifically on those areas. They've been handpicked by our organization because they have a very good knowledge of key customers and key relationships in those regions, where we can actually be able to help our partners be able to deliver on what they're looking for. So in Asia, the president of our group there, he actually helped bring Blue Nile into that region. He has been very phenomenal and key in being able to deliver a lot of sales within the large Chinese retailers. We have similar relationships in Japan, in Singapore, in Hong Kong. So it's a very solid group, and the same thing with within the US and North Americas. It's not just one group that we'd like to be working with, but it's the high-end independent retailers, the mom and pop stores that have been working very hard to be able to get to where they are today. Those are the relationships that our sales executives and team members have there. So our key is ensuring that we're utilizing their expertise to do better. Sorry.
I think also, Derek, that we're not just a passive platform, and that's what many of the others are in the industry. So our goal is that we are we have a passive platform aspect to us. We have the fact that we will go and make sure our platform is in retailers around the world. We will go and seek large orders that we can then aggregate through our data, all our data from premium, standard, and free. And also we've worked successfully and had events regarding the masterpiece level that we've brought significant value of fancy color and I guess large white diamonds to retailers in many markets. And there's a lot of interest in that, both in Asia, North America, and Europe. So I think what we're attempting to do is take the basis of a platform, the basis of the data, and then activate it as much as we can.
Can I ask a question?
Hello, Stefan.
Hi, Mayar. How are you?
Lovely to see you.
Me too. Thanks for the
Yes,
presentation, first of all. Two questions. When you will have to match orders for customers,
yes.
how will you prioritize? Because you will have a group of goods that could match potentially the customer's order. So how will you prioritize? Number one.
So anything that's within Uni Axon and Uni Premium, because we have all the in-depth information around them, will be prioritized. And then if we do not have enough goods in Uni Axon, Uni Premium, then we go into Uni Free. And the reason why we prioritize it in that way is because we've already done the background checks on those goods. We know their availability. So that's how we're prioritizing.
And if you have a kind of choice between 10 suppliers, how will you prioritize between those who have similar goods who could match the demand? Is that AI driven? How does it work? Is it price driven? How does it work?
It's a great question. And the answer to that is we allow the customer to pick. So if they say they want 200, we have 400 stones available. If it matches perfectly all of their parameters and requirements and needs, rarely that happens, but if it does, we'll provide them with a list of 400 stones. And then from there, they pick specifically what they want. And those are the goods then we ship, they get QC'd. And then those that get validated, they stay. Those that don't will go back.
A second question, will you finally reintroduce cash payment for diamonds?
Oh God, yes.
Thank you.
Look, it's an important part of what we're doing, but you know, this is a challenge that we're seeing, right? I mean, there are retailers, there are people who have been buying, and this isn't just, I don't want to put this as like in the mom and pops or these are really good retailers that are now moving to like 90 days, 120 days, and so on and so forth. Obviously, our desire is to be able to get cash on whatever that we can. And if there is cash, and this is the transparency, right? If you want to pay cash, this is your price. If you don't, then the price actually incrementally will move up. And I think a lot of companies will realize that they could be making that money. And they could be having those margins themselves, because there isn't a single manufacturer that I know today that doesn't charge for 30, 60, 90 days or 120 days, God forbid. But they do.
But for the 3% you charge, you guarantee the money to the supplier of the stock? To the
So
seller?
once the goods get to us and we've sold it, that is correct. And that's why we use insurance aspects and things like that to be able to make sure that we are protecting those goods and protecting what's being sold.
Last question, and then I won't
protect
take more. Yeah, the KYC. How will you work around KYC? This is just whenever the company is on board.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whenever the company on board, you must have all the relevant documentation. That's
100%. So obviously you can register, and even at the registration point, there's a validation. We don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry to be able to register and look at diamonds on our platform, right? And this is a very important question to ask, because you know there are platforms that do not do the proper validation. So you know when people do a login into our system, they don't immediately get access. It usually takes about 24 hours. And that 24 hours is being used to validate the company's information. And if those companies are recognized and validated, then they will receive a login and password. If they're not, they'll receive a call from one of their local group, either in North America, so Asia, or in Europe, basically asking further questions before we give the password. Once a password is provided, when someone decides that they're going to buy a diamond, that's when we do the first time KYC process, which is a thorough KYC process with knowing the key individuals within the organizations, who the holders are, etc. The vendors that are bringing diamonds into our platform also have to do a KYC process, as we have to do a KYC process for them as well. So it's very much tightly sealed to make sure that all of the regulatory requirements are followed.
Thank you. I'll stop there. Thanks.
Dylan, did you want to say something?
I think it's also key that you have to upload your business certificate. So our goal is not to make sure that we are a B2B site. We're not ending up being a B2C site.
Exactly.
There was a question regarding the interest rate applied on a 12-month loan, Marihar.
So great question again. The interest rate is dependent on what we call the sellability index of a diamond. So if a stone is coming into our platform and it's highly priced, even if it is a diamond that can be sold effectively, then the interest rate on it would be at a higher level than if it was more towards market price. And what do I mean by that? again, market price is based on average, maximum and minimum. If someone's 10% above the maximum price of market, and if we're evaluating the diamond and we notice that it's at the lowest point, it has, you know, black center PK, it's triple G, God forbid, or there's something that's inherently flawed within the characteristics of the diamond, then obviously it would be at a lower level. But if it's priced at the highest potential level or even higher, then obviously the interest rate would be higher. The average interest rate that we're looking at is somewhere between 7 to 12%. Average comes out probably around 8 to 9%. There is one question that I just noticed about, there was a question about traceability of the stone. If traders are buying a diamond and from another trader, then the customer will know the source of the diamond itself. And then what are our thoughts about this? And first of all, I think it's an important question to answer. When you're utilizing blockchain in the way that it's being provided in our industry today, you can provide the source or origin of the diamond. You don't necessarily need to provide who polished it. It is something that can be provided and it can be shared, but it's not necessarily something that has to be provided. But do I believe that this is a time where knowing where the diamond is from is important? I believed in it maybe 6-7 years ago when I was the managing director at Venus, where we were the first company to actually started doing this for all of our diamonds, providing the origin of the stones, which was backed and supported by RJC validation of our systems and processes. I think the consumers, if today they want to know which farm their tomatoes come from, or you know where their vegetables are sourced from, the fact that they're buying a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 diamond, which is at times, majority of the times, their first large purchase as an individual, this information becomes important to some of them. And if it's not important to some, it's a great story to be able to provide to a consumer, to talk about the origin of where it came from, the natural beauty of it, the history behind the diamonds, the fact that a diamond is more than 1 billion years old, and how these diamonds were brought into this world, the odds and rarity of a diamond crystallizing itself in such a way underneath the ground billions of years ago. It's such a unique story that we need to be telling. Dylan?
Our goal also at the, I guess at our platform level, when we're using as a sales tool in the retail shop, is that through the data, we can actually assess how many, for instance, 1 carat GSI1s there were in a year. And so I don't have that number offhand, but let's say it's 1 of 4,000. You're still buying 1 of 4,000 pieces, and it shows a certain rarity that natural diamonds have, especially when we as companies who are reliant on the natural diamond business are up against the endless supply of LGD. And I think these types of stories and giving these tools to retailers as part of our platform will be an important part of what we do in the future, and to maintain the value of natural diamonds.
There's a question about when a stone is sold to a retailer, what guarantees are there that the partner who we took the diamond from will receive payment? So first of all, when you memo the stone to UNI, care of Malcolm Mead, it's being insured by us and Malcolm Mead. So there is a guarantee there in regards to that. And there is a guarantee that you will receive payment from us as an organization as well. Now, there is one important thing that please forgive my transparency. You know, I'll give a prime example of what has happened very recently. The luxury brands in Paris closed shop and closed everything. So, you know, when we sold a specific stone, the payment was supposed to be due, but because those retailers have closed down, basically their commitment to us has been that when they open the business up, the payment will be made immediately. And, you know, we know very well that some of these luxury retailers are phenomenal at being able to execute on what they've committed to. So in those areas, we don't have concerns or worries. However, the fact that they're not physically in the office and they're not able to make their wire transfers is something that we would communicate back and forth with our partners should that ever happen. And if it happens, we'll be very much transparent around exactly what's going on and what's happening. But what's key is for everyone to understand that we do actually make sure that those are insured and supported. Any other questions? We were that good.
Well, I want to thank you guys because you were good. It was very interesting. We look forward to hopefully post this recording that you made on our website, so people who did miss out or missed the first 10 minutes or whatnot can go to the website and look at the presentation again. Obviously, they can get in touch with you guys as well. And we look forward to seeing all of you again on Friday when we will have Edan Golan, well-known expert and industry analyst, for a Q&A on the polished market. So thank you guys, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, and thank you very much, Karen and AWDC, for this time and opportunity.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.